I think I might slowly be going insane. In this video, I'm going to share with you 10 bizarre things that bother my autistic brain. The first one's pretty weird. So Debbie and I like to go for walks. We walk everywhere. When we're traveling and visiting places, we walk all the time. When we need breaks, we go for walks. When we wake up early in the morning, we go for walks. We love to walk. Walks are great. They're very peaceful. They're very relaxing. And everything is perfectly fine with these walks until Debbie trips or stumbles. Really bothers me. Sometimes it makes me angry. And I don't know why. Because when I think about it, Debbie's the one stumbling. She's the one tripping. She's the one who should be scared, or she's the one who should be frustrated. No. I'm the one who's pissed off about it. It rattles the crap out of me. When it happens, it's like my whole body is being clenched. And it hurts. It sucks. Interestingly enough, if Debbie and I are going for a walk and she trips or stumbles, she'll actually apologize to me. That's messed up. The second thing is when people ask me how I'm doing. That simple question is enough to piss me off. Here's the thing, when someone asks you how you're doing, they don't actually want to know how you're doing. And chances are, if you're autistic, you might not be doing so well. If I'm not doing so well, I don't want to be reminded of that. I don't want to have to explain it to people. Here's how it is. How are you doing? And you're supposed to say, oh, I'm fine. Everything's fine, thanks. Blah. What a waste of time. How stupid is that? But if I was to be honest, someone were to ask me, hey, how are you doing? Oh, it would go something like this. How's it going? You say, well, interesting that you should ask that, because coming to work took me 20 minutes longer than normal because I had a panic attack due to the fact that my normal route was closed because of road construction and a detour. So that was an absolute nightmare. And when I got to work, I was completely drenched and covered in sweat. After that, I made my way to the elevator and was forced to engage in some small talk, which frustrated me to no end and bothered me immensely. I wanted to choke the person who was talking to me. I wanted to their Adam's owl. I just wanted to kind of wanted to, right. But you can't do that or you'll get arrested. So I had to sit there and pretend I was interested and do my smiles and do my nods. Then after I left the elevator, sweaty, nervous, uncomfortable, a little bit cranky, I made my way to my office. There was a blast of noise because someone dropped a stapler on the floor, and that almost put me in cardiac arrest. But I did manage to make it to my office, and when I was there, all I could think about was not throwing up. How are you? How are you doing? The other thing that bothers me about how are you doing is I don't really understand what it's asking. What does it mean? How am I feeling mentally? What are my emotions? I don't fully understand that question. It's too ambiguous. It's not specific enough, and it bothers me. So don't ask me how I'm doing. It's none of your business how I'm doing. The third thing that drives my autistic brain crazy is sudden noises. It's a combination of two things. One, it's the suddenness. That's the worst. The suddenness is the worst. And the second is the type of noise. So let me give you an example. Sometimes my neighbors upstairs will drop things. It's a sudden noise and it scares the shit out of me to the point where I can't feel the left side of my body and I stop breathing for a year. After the initial shock, my body kind of freezes, I get angry. I just get absolutely irritable. And what I want to do is I want to march up the stairs, I want to bang down their door and punch them all in the face. But you can't do that because that is against the law.
Someone call 911!
Some other things that really bother me are car horns. If I'm walking and someone honks their horn, I elevate suddenly, like 16 feet in the air. That hurts because I'm not supposed to be 16 feet in the air. I'm not designed for that. It hurts my knees and my back and my brain and my butt. If I'm in a restaurant and there's plates that clang together or forks that hit plates, clang, clang. That sucks. The fourth thing that really hurts my brain is kind of interesting. So I have a strong adherence to routines. I really like predictability most of the time. I also have ADHD, so sometimes that is a little bit tricky. It gets a little bit spicy. For the most part, I like consistency and routines. I really like navigating the same path to places. Once I go from A to B and it's entrenched in my brain, it's really important for me to follow that same path. What is really disruptive is when I'm navigating a path that I'm used to and there's an obstacle in the way preventing me from continuing on that path. So one example is when I was walking home from the hospital and I always cross at the same intersection, but the street light was out. They were doing work on it. They had all the construction people there. They were in that special thing, the little lift. They were up there doing some fancy work, but I couldn't cross at that street. So that was really incredibly jarring to me. I had my wife Debbie with me, so she coached me through it. We took a brief pause and we assessed. I did a full 360-degree assessment of my surroundings. This happened after my 30-second panic attack, but we figured it out. We went up to the next street, to where that street light was, and we crossed it. And for most people, I think that's a pretty easy thing to do. But for me, it sucked. The fifth thing that really bothers my brain is having to do the small talk chitty chat. God, what is the point of small talk? You do not build relationships from small talk. You do not get to know people from small talk. You do not figure things out because of small talk. Ideas are not generated because of small talk. Problems are not solved because of small talk. Small talk could be one of the dumbest things that people do. I've heard that neurotypical people get little slight dopamine rushes from small talk. Why? For me and for most autistics, we do not. I think our body probably releases cortisol or adrenaline or lighter fluid. I'm not sure. It's not pleasant and I don't like to do it. A couple of reasons why small talk bothers me. There's like a parameter that you have to fall in line with. You can't give too much information. You can't be too honest, but at the same time, you have to give some information. Otherwise you come across as rude and inconsiderate. So that bothers me. And then sometimes I find it challenging to know when it's my turn to talk. How long of a pause before I come in? And then how long does this chit chat last? Because the ending always seems, it just seems fairly ambiguous. Is it gonna be one sentence, and we're done? That wouldn't be bad. That would be okay. No sentences would be better, but are we, is it gonna be like a back and forth for a little while? I don't do well with that. I don't know, I don't understand, and I don't care about the weather. I know what the weather is because I was out in it. I'm not really interested in your opinion about the weather, and I don't want to hear you complain mildly, and I'm not interested in telling you how my morning is going or what I did over the weekend. The sixth bizarre thing that really bothers my autistic brain is when people move things around in my apartment, especially the kitchen. If I'm cooking and I want to get a pot or a pan or a potato musher or a potato peeler, I expect it to be in a certain spot, and that's really important to me. And when I go to find it and it's not there, it hurts. Here. And here. And here. For my office, it's the same thing. Things are in a certain spot, and that's really important for me. They need to be in that spot. I need them to be there so I can free up my brain to think about other things, because my brain is extremely active, it's constantly moving, and I don't want it to be focused on things that are unnecessary or preventable. The seventh thing that really bothers my autistic brain is when I lose something. That sucks. I feel so nervous and horrible when I can't find my phone or my keys or my wallet. I get mad, I get really angry and flustered. What I've done to accommodate myself is I don't carry things really anymore. I don't have a wallet. I don't have a watch. I have a phone and it has a few things in it, but sometimes I don't even carry that. I do carry these a lot though, around with me, all over the place. Love these things, by the way. These are Neato cubes, and if you have never experienced a Neato cube, whoa, you are missing out. This is the coolest thing on the planet. It is. It's so weird to touch. It's so squishy. It's just a weird squishy. and it never gets old. Kind of looks like a tooth, like a giant Gummy Monster's tooth. What was I talking about? The 8th thing that drives my autistic brain crazy is when people chew too close to my ear. Oh, don't chew near my ear. When that happens, I can't see straight. My vision becomes blurry. From there, everything kind of becomes red and fiery. And it's hard to breathe, and I can't lift my head very high because my neck is so tense. And that sucks. Popcorn. No. Do not, I do not like it when people eat popcorn near my ear at all. It hurts my teeth. It actually hurts my teeth and my butt. It hurts my butthole when people eat popcorn near my ear. That sucks. Cereal. Oh, God. I'm so fortunate that Debbie doesn't really like cereal that much, which is fantastic because, I do not like it when people eat cereal near my ear. I don't know what it is about cereal, but a lot of the times when people eat it, their mouth kind of moves like a cow. The 9th thing that really bothers my autistic brain is getting served food or drinks that are too hot. God, when I'm saying that, it sounds so ridiculous. A lot of people want their food hot. Soups, they want their soup really hot, or coffee. I remember when I was transitioning from high school into college, I worked as a barista making coffee. A lot of the customers were very specific. I want the coffee hot. And in my mind, I'm thinking, why? When I eat something and it's too hot, it really startles me. I know what you're thinking. Well, why don't you just blow on it or test it a little bit? You know, if you see steam coming out, woo, probably a little bit too hot to eat. But I'm not paying attention to that sometimes because for me, I'm paying attention to everything that's happening. And usually there's a lot of things happening. So sometimes I'll miss things. And pretty often I will miss whether or not the food I'm eating is too hot. So it startles me, it scares me. I don't like the sensation of hot things in my mouth. It's so weird because if we're doing leftovers, Debbie will be like, do you want me to heat you up some leftovers? And I'm like, no, don't need to heat it up because I'm perfectly happy and content eating them cold. When we do lasagna, she's like, what? How? She'll do cold pizza. I've seen a lot of people do cold pizza, but I'll do cold lasagna. I'll do cold pasta. I'll do cold chicken nuggets. I'll do cold chili. Yeah, that's kind of gross. The 10th and final thing that bothers my autistic brain is when the room temperature is too warm. If the temperature of a space is anything warmer than 65 degrees, I get uncomfortable. And if it gets over 70 degrees, I start to get really irritable, really frustrated. I remember my wife and I spent 3 months in Vancouver on a vacation. I went into a restaurant and it was hot and I couldn't do it. So after 2 minutes of sitting at the table, I left because I don't want to sit in a restaurant and sweat. I can't focus on what people are saying. I can't focus on the food. I can't focus on anything except the heat. And it makes me feel nauseous and uncomfortable. I start to feel like I want to throw up. My house runs cold. I work my ACs pretty hard. And especially when I'm sleeping, I crank that thing to like, it's 60 degrees. And I love that because I feel comfortable when it's chilly. I took a trip just recently to Dingle, Ireland, but it was a little bit chilly because it was December. I would open my windows at night and let the cool, crisp air come in and kiss my face, and it would help me fall asleep. I would like to give a shout out to Dingle's cold, crisp night air. Thank you for making the nights enjoyable and memorable. What sort of things bother your brain? Leave them in the comments below because I love hearing them. I get really excited to read your comments. For you AUDHD.